Hello lovely people, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Mary, and if today is your first time of stopping by, this is my channel. I talk about education, lifestyle and many other things. If you're a returning subscriber, it's always great to have you here. So I've started a series talking about studying abroad in a low budget. If you've not watched any of those videos in this series, I will recommend that you check on my playlist Further Education, and you will be able to see some of these videos. So some of the questions I've been receiving from you people is, Mary, you keep talking about studying in Norway without paying tuition fee, and if we go to Norway as an international student, how would we survive? Can we find a part-time job? Because I don't speak Norwegian. How can I find a part-time job in Norway? So in this video, I hope to share with you some part-time jobs that students, that is international students, can find in Norway. So the first thing I want to share with you is the fact that because you are moving from another country to Norway, and being in Norway, a Scandinavian country where norsk is spoken or Norwegian language is spoken, you might be tempted to think that you need proficiency in norsk before you find a job as an international student. So I just want to let you know that of course there are specific jobs that are tied to your ability to speak norsk, but for most part-time jobs that recruit students, the recruiters are aware that international students do not speak norsk, so there is very little language requirements for international students seeking to do part-time jobs. So if your worry is about language, let me just let you know that you don't need to master Norwegian before you get a job as an international student. Another concern people have raised is that I'll be given a student visa. How can I work with that? Okay, so student visas granted to international students usually come with work permit, which allows you to work 20 hours a week while you are in full-time studies, and also to work full-time during school holidays. So you can work 20 hours a week. Make sure you do not exceed that, because it might get you and your employer into trouble. So you work 20 hours a week, and when you are on holidays, you're able to work like full-time, which is either 40 hours or depending on how many hours you are able to take as an international student. So there are different types of jobs you can apply in Norway as an international student. You can apply for jobs such as cleaning jobs in hotels, in restaurants, in different factories. And this is not to belittle your studies. Of course, you are an international student, you need to survive, and the jobs pay very well. So the minimum wage in Norway is actually more than the minimum wage in the countries I've lived in. So you can apply for these auxiliary jobs, and to be frank, most of these jobs require you to do it either in the evening or early in the morning, so you will not really interact with your studies, especially if you are doing a cleaning job in a factory or a company. So somebody will ask, but how will I find a cleaning job when I arrive in Norway? There are specific websites you can apply to. So when I was in Norway, we had the Adecco, we had I think fin.no, and also to speak to people. If you go to a country and you meet people, make friends with them. So speak with people. If you meet a fellow person who is from your continent, from your country, ask questions, inquire, ask them, how can I find a job? And I'm telling you, people are more than willing to share, but if you do not ask, you will not find the answers. Of course, there are some people work in places that they know there are vacancies, they're looking for people to work on part-time basis. But if you've not asked those people that, okay, I'm available and I'm ready to work, they might not be able to come straight to you that, okay, I have this job in my company, because they don't also want to infringe on your privacy. So speak to people is very, very important. So you can take part in like auxiliary jobs like cleaning, as I said. Further, there's also an opportunity to do other jobs such as newspaper distribution, popularly known as avis, is one of the jobs I personally haven't experienced newspaper distribution before, so I can't give you a personal experience. And it's usually distributed at night, so you work through the night, you don't work in the day. I know most students also involve themselves in newspaper distribution. If also that you have to register, as I said, just type ADECO or speak with the people around. If there is nobody you are able to speak with, beneath this video in the description box I will share some links on useful links that you can apply to register, so you get calls and take part in those jobs. Newspaper distribution and cleaning are not the only part-time jobs in Norway. There are several others. There are international students who work at the restaurant as chefs, and some also work as bartenders and different other sorts of jobs. Some work as security personnel in restaurants. There are different, so these are non-skilled works. You don't need to be skilled in this particular area. You don't need to be skilled before you can be a security personnel. You don't need to be skilled before you can work in a bar. The training that is given is just few days and you are good to go. Others also work in healthcare, specifically as a personal support worker. So old people's home, you get the opportunity to work with one person or even more people. And as I said, this usually come through communicating with other people or registering at specific websites, and I will link some of these websites to you so you know where to check for those information. I also want to talk about specific jobs that are tailored towards your field of study. So I've also seen people who come to study and they don't do this auxiliary jobs I've been talking about. People register for part-time tutoring. There are websites you can put your information there. So although Norway is a country that speaks Norsk, there are several international institutions there, and there are some expats and even some Norwegian who have their children schooling in English schools, and they are looking for people to give them part-time tutoring. It could be math, it could be English, it could be science. So you can also register as a part-time tutor, and you teach children or students from such parents these courses. So here you are working in your field of studies. Aside that, you can also check your university website if your course has internship available, or if there are some companies that are registered with your department that ensures that students from that department get opportunity to work with a specific company on internship basis. Some of these internships are paid, so it's something you might want to look into. And of course, if you are working in any health related field, it's also important that you seek to do some practicals, especially if you are a nursing student. You might want to practice your nursing. But I want to share with you a clue. So I lived in Norway for 2 years, and I realized that getting a job for me was a bit easier because I decided to learn Norsk. I wasn't a fluent speaker, but at least the basic one to find my way around, I acquired it. So very early in my stay in Norway, I got a job, like a good job, not specifically in my field of study, but at least a job that requires that I have basic proficiency in Norway, and it pays better than the other auxiliary jobs. So my master tip to you is this: if you move to Norway as an international student, of course, the reason for going is to study. But you might also want to acquire a few basics in Norwegian. How are you? What is your name? Where do you live? Where do you come from? Basic conversations. It helps in your job search, because there are some companies, even if they employ you, remember that not everybody there will be a fluent Norwegian, a fluent speaker in English. Of course, there are a lot of people you know who speak English. That shouldn't deceive you, because they are the older generation who are more into their Norwegian language as compared to other languages. So if you can, there are free language courses you can take. Most of the universities offer free courses, beginner courses. Take them. Some of the religious institutions offer free language courses. Register for them as your part-time. Download Norwegian language dictionaries. If you get opportunity to have a TV in your room, try to watch Norwegian channels. Just learn something, and that one will ensure that you get a job that pays better than the other auxiliary jobs I've mentioned. Just to let you know, this video does not seek to exhaust all the opportunities that international students have to work in Norway. I've just listed the ones that are popular, the ones that I have experienced, the ones that I know people who have experienced. And I just want to share with you that if you want to make that important step to study in Norway, it is never too late. And if you've not put in your application, the portal was open in October for most schools. Some schools opened in November, but most schools will close down the application portal in December. Just try and gather your application pack, put in a very good application, and hey, who knows? You might be the next person to go and study in Norway and to also share with us some of the things I'm sharing with you. And in case you have questions, comments, do not forget to put in the chat box. We are here to support each other. We are here to share our experiences with you so that your study abroad experience will be very smooth. Once again, my name is Mary, and see you again in another video. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button, and you receive notification on when I post new videos.